I think we can all agree, lately when EuroLeague players decide to go to the NBA, it does not go well. Even if it's MVPs like Sasha Vezenkov or Vasilije Micic. But let me tell you one of the coolest comeback stories in this NBA season. Guerschon Yabusele, yes, the same guy who dunked on LeBron during the Olympics, might be the only really successful transfer from the EuroLeague to the NBA in the past years. His full career story is also unlike any other. He went to play in China after being drafted in 2016, then spent 2 uninspiring years in Boston, which led to him being cancelled from the NBA for 6 seasons straight. Finally, he's back, he's playing well, so let's see why he succeeded in his return and others didn't. First, let's make one thing clear. A EuroLeague player in this video refers to a veteran who spent the majority of his career in this tournament. Not young phenoms who before going to the NBA played in Europe like Luka Doncic or Victor Wembanyama. They don't count. I also excluded both Bojan and Bogdan Bogdanovic because they were drafted at 22 years old, spent 3 more years in the EuroLeague and then moved overseas at a pretty early age of 25. Dante Exum? He's not a bad example, but he got only a 2-year, $6 million deal after returning. With Yabusele, it's different. He did not get a second chance until 29, and he's about to get paid way more. Although the Celtics used a highly valuable 16 pick on him, Yabusele did not crack the rotation at all in the first 2 years. The Frenchman was limited to 7 and 6 minutes a game in each season, struggling to shoot the free ball. He also had a hard time defensively and just couldn't find a spot in a team which was already stacked of ultra-talented wing players. But years in Madrid helped him refine his skills and mature. He also won multiple titles and played alongside continent's greats, which I believe helped him up his basketball IQ. So when the chance to come back finally arrived, he was ready. Although he stands at 6'8" or 2 meters and 3 centimeters only, Yabusele is one of the heaviest players in the league right now. Despite that, he is considered as a mobile big, making this combination of size, strength, and athleticism a perfect mix for modern NBA. I mean, just look at all these poster dunks.
Guerschon!
Oh! Martin with it. Zips a pass to Yabusele, and he will pack it with the right hand.
This one had Anthony Davis nearby, and Yabusele even threw the too small gesture after. Who could have imagined this day would come? Yet here we are, looking at Yabusele's 280 pounds or 127 kilograms as an advantage. He's simply built different than the common European player who goes to the NBA. Just look at the most recent examples, Vasilije Micic and Sasha Vezenkov. Both did something that Yabusele couldn't, won EuroLeague MVP trophies. They had a lot of skill, but in nowadays NBA that's not enough. If you are not athletic enough, if you are not strong and quick enough, you won't be able to stay on the NBA floor for long just because for defensive issues. Plus, it is harder to demonstrate your craft offensively if everybody is faster than you. But that's not an issue for the dancing bear, as they called Yabusele in Boston. Every EuroLeague fan would agree that Yabu's skill set was the most translatable to the NBA. Everything he did here in Europe, we see him doing now in the NBA. Making spot-up threes, driving the closeouts, posting up smaller dudes with his back to the basket, and relentlessly going for offensive rebounds or simply stretching the floor. Another plus is that in the NBA, he's not limited to solely one position. His natural one is the power forward, but with, surprise surprise, Embiid missing time, he started various times at a center for Philadelphia and was a plus. Speaking about injuries, if you're a player looking for potential minutes, Philly is the team to sign for. I mean, just look at all those injuries this season, and the season before, and the season before that one. Guerschon knew all he needed was an opportunity, and he saw a big one in Philadelphia, betting on himself when he signed this NBA deal. Forward is basically not earning anything this season. Yeah, you heard that one right. How, you may ask? Well, it was only a minimum 1-year deal worth $2.1 million, and considering US taxes, that's around $1.1 million net. Since he had an ongoing deal with Real Madrid, the buyout was at $2.5 million, of which only $850,000 could be covered by the 76ers per NBA rules. The remaining $1.6 million is paid by Yabu himself. So all that net money he's getting this year plus some extra is going towards only a possibility to grind out a real roster spot. And oh boy, he's doing that well. In 26 minutes, he's averaging just short of 11 points. Taking a look into some advanced stats, and his true shooting is at 58%, third best in Philly's roster, while his net rating on the court is also third best and the best among those who played at least 25 games. First and foremost, it's Yabusele's developed ability to be a knockdown shooter from deep that's helping him. 76ers have Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, and had Jared McCain early in the season as primary ball handlers. These guys soak a lot of attention, and if you help like Jokic here, Guerschon will make you pay. In this next clip, 4 guys are around the perimeter to start, and it's Maxey who beats Fred VanVleet. Oubre smartly moves to the dunker spot, and when Thompson helps, Yabu is wide open. So many times this season, 76ers used 5 out spacing, and having Yabu at the center spot created himself easy shots. His man would help in the paint, giving the Frenchman easy looks which he converts at a high level. Just ask Jokic or any other slower center in the league. Yabusele had the highest scoring games against Jokic, Şengün, and Valanciunas using his mobility and shooting from the deep combo. Not only the Frenchman had the most translatable offensive skill from all EuroLeague players, he is also somewhat a jack of all trades offensively. Pick and pop is a huge attribute of his game, especially when he's at the 5. Here against Denver, Philly mixed it up on the weak side, and when Jokic helps again, Yabu is wide open. Or just as in this clip, early empty corner pick and roll, Şengün is high on Maxey, and the nearest help, Dillon Brooks, has to sprint from an entirely different region.
Nice soft touch from the big Frenchman as well.
What makes Yabusele a valuable asset to what I believe is any NBA team is that not only he can shoot, but he can put the ball on the floor in transition or in closeout situations. Maxey's with the ball here, Yabusele simply stretches out the floor and puts Jokic in a tough spot. He decides to help on Maxey's drive, but look at the distance to Guerschon. Westbrook almost steals it, but Yabu is able to get closer and nails this floater from the free throw line. Almost an identical scenario here, only that Christian Brown stays home and it's Jokic who has to do all the work. The catch is not comfortable to shoot for Yabusele, so he drives, and once again he uses that big body of his to get a better angle. He is stronger than most of these guys, yet somehow he's also quicker. On this pop, Şengün has no chance to staying in front, so he risks it all for this steal, gets beaten, and Brooks can do nothing about it under the rim. It's not like Jokic and Şengün are famous for their defense, but both had a hard time catching Yabusele, who was flying all over the court, hitting multiple threes in transition. And not only that, against Boston, they of course try to switch it, but the big man reads it and decides to roll instead of popping. Hauser is lost, and oh my god.
Take that with you.
In the next clip, Şengün is in drop and is okay with Maxey's mid-range because he's responsible for Yabusele's role. But bad positioning here and quick Guerschon, and it's an easy 2. He did not meet much resistance there under the rim, but against the Nuggets, it's 2 on the ball and the weak side is ready. But again, Yabusele's fast roll allows him to catch the ball deep, and the strength to finish is not a missing piece in his game. Again, you can just ask LeBron.
Lovely little dummy Yabusele!
Anyway, there is another reason why Philly fans love him. He's always full of energy. Well, of course, imagine the motivation. You are playing for free this season for a chance to carve out a huge role and a huge payday in the NBA. Who wouldn't be doing that? Who wouldn't be playing at 100%? He is constantly crashing the offensive rebounds, sprinting from the three-point line where he usually wanders around to expose himself to the highest chance of getting his hand on the ball. It often results in nothing, but he keeps doing it, so the players and the coaches and the fans love it. All these attributes, covering 2 positions, shooting, mobility, strength, face-up game, relentless energy, and much more made Yabusele a target at the trade deadline. Of course, he has his flaws just like everybody else. He's not the quickest laterally and he's not a rim protector. Both are super important for bigs in today's NBA, and usually even more important than their offense But despite that, Denver, New York, and Boston all inquired about trading for Yabusele before the trade deadline. The Frenchman is heading for a much bigger paycheck this summer, and for us Europeans, I think it is super cool to see a EuroLeague player finally being able to show his true colors to an NBA audience. What do you guys think? How much Yabusele is going to earn next season? Could any other current EuroLeague player replicate his success the next year? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.